Hello, Tarot Maniacs. So I touched on this subject on Mixtape Monday. If you're new, Mixtape Monday is my Monday broadcast. I take questions from you guys and I answer them in a production video, not in a live format. But someone had asked about the tariff war between the U.S. and Canada. And I wanted to take a little bit of a closer look at it. So I've got some questions. I've got a couple of premieres that gave some advice there. I want to talk a little bit about the Trump Trudeau fight as well, but let's take a little bit of a closer look at it. We'll be right back. Hello, tarot fans again. So we're going to be talking about the tariff war between the United States and Canada, or more specifically, Donald Trump and Canada. So basically what is happening, there is a delay. There's a pause put on it right now. And there is, I think, an additional time frame for auto manufacturers that are getting supplies from Canada so that we're not impeding production here in the United States. So I do want to start off with looking at the Trump-Trudeau relationship. So I'm not the biggest Trudeau fan. I went blurry for a second there. A lot of my friends in Canada are not Trudeau fans as well. He is stepping down from the position. He announced his intention to step down. I don't know when he's going to do it, but he announced his intention. So let's just take a look at that relationship. Before I do that, please like, share, and subscribe. There's a lot of new subscribers here. So hi, welcome. It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming over and supporting my channel. That's really, really awesome. Let me know what you want to talk about. If you're a Canadian, let me know what you think of this. Okay. I'm an American. I'm in New Jersey. We are taxed up to our ears here in New Jersey. It's a little bit of a difficult state, but we have the highest insurance. We're the most densely packed state. It's a little bit crowded. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe getting out of here. Wikipedia doesn't want to move though. He's got too much stuff. So let's take a look at the relationship between Donald Trump and Trudeau just real quick, and then we're going to go into what's going to happen with this tariff war. So thanks so much for being here. I'm bringing up that card view. Let's make it nice and big for you. I'm not going to mess around with it. So when Trump insulted Trudeau and said Canada can become the 52nd state or 51st state or whatever he said, I don't know what he said. I don't know how he framed that. Because I know Puerto Rico wants in, and I know DC wants to become a state. There's all kinds of craziness going on. So, and we're also eyeballing Greenland. So, what else? What else? Manifest destiny. So, was the insult of calling Trudeau the governor of the great state of Canada and telling Trudeau that he would welcome him in as an additional state to the United States wasn't an effort to subjugate him or have some more edge on negotiation. So subjugation, we're going to look up here in the top. And an edge in negotiating on the bottom. It could be both. You never know. It could be both. So subjugation, hierophant, yes. Yes. So, and we get into an issue with the crown here because isn't it a Commonwealth state? I don't know if it's technically a Commonwealth state, but it is under the British crown. So here, this was a little bit of a power play. The United States, in his opinion, in Trump's opinion, trumps the British crown and trumps the former vast British Empire. So look back at the things that you're doing, and perhaps this is a solution to issues that they have. So was it an effort to subjugate? Yes, but I don't think it was to subjugate Canada exclusively. I think it was to subjugate the entire structure of the Canadian government and how they are under the British Crown. So I do think that there was something there. I do think that perhaps Trump would like to see all of North America under the same auspices. Am I using that word correctly? Was it to give more negotiating power? Yes. So this was an effort to negotiate a little bit harder with him. So, it's almost like, well, if it will do the tariffs, but if you come on over and you become part of the United States, then we're happy, happy, happy. Then we're happy, happy, happy. And if you don't, it might stink for you. So this, you can share in our wealth. You can be a part of this greater institution of the United States, this great experiment of America. That was what it was called, the Great Experiment. So I do think that he was trying to subjugate, but it was more the whole structure of Canada, and come on over because we can make you fat and happy, fatter and happier. So I don't know if people want to be fat like Americans. So I do think that was the play behind the scenes. So did Trump postpone these tariffs? Did he do the delay in order to give Trudeau more time to come back and negotiate either the tariffs or becoming part of the United States? Is that why he did that? And if you're Canadian, I'm not pro either way. Like, I like Canada where it is. We're not pushing for this. So, is it to postpone to renegotiate the tariff structure? I think it's we can continue to have some conversations. They're not in play yet. We're not making this happen. We can still negotiate. Things are still happening. Is it to possibly negotiate acquiring Canada? Again, this is Trump. No. I'm going to change that now. It is also a time period in which Trump can say, well, if you want to be your own independent place here, over here, you come sit down at the devil's table and we're going to make you fat and happy. We're going to make all your dreams come true. Vote for Pedro. So Napoleon Dynamite. There is no Pedro, guys. So this, I do think that there's twofold. He wrote The Art of the Deal. He's been cutting deals forever. So I do think there's something about that. So my next question is, there something else Trump wants for the United States? So is there something else that we're not aware of, something that we are not bringing up? And I am intuitively getting, if that pipeline that was shut down by Joe Biden, if that is producing oil, what else is up in Canada? That came through very, very quickly. Is there something else that he wants? A lot of negative cards here. Whoa, everything's negative. Wow. Is there something else that he wants? This is wild. So I did get, curiosity about what else lies beneath the Canadian North, the Great North. What else lies beneath that? Curiouser and curiouser. But these are not necessarily easy things that he wants to get. I'm going to have to remote view on this. So we'll do this a little bit later. I'll do a remote view on what is going on with Canada, because I do think that he has a very different concept of what he would do with Canada than Canada has. So I am getting that there is underground stuff. The eastern part of Canada up top, not the populated area, but there is something. There's a suspicion that there's something under the ground there. So I don't know anything about that. So we will come back to that. I am going to highlight this question and I will make it green for remote view. So the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, said that until the tariffs are lifted on Canada, he will remain relentless in his retaliatory taxes on energy. So Minnesota, New York, and Michigan are all going to be hit with a 25% increase in cost for energy. They provide the energy. Ontario provides the energy for Minnesota, New York, and Michigan. So is Trump going to attempt to use this period to negotiate better rates for energy for those states? No, he is not going to try and negotiate better energy rates. So I do think that President Trump is going to try and find alternate sources. I think they're going to try and route things in a different direction. I don't know if that's going to work, but I think this is a moment where he says you got to bite the bullet. So what is he going to? I'm drifting from Canada. What is Trump going to do for Minnesota, New York, and Michigan? What is he going to do for the higher rates? This state out. Rebates. So I don't know if this is going to be stimulus. Doge is generating all this money. There's rumors that we're going to get $5,000 rebate checks for the taxes that we paid. But there's going to be some kind of a rebating system there. I don't know. I don't think that it's a tax. They're going to defray the taxes. I think it's more so like those stimulus checks. I think he's going to do that. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. That is a future cast. So again, I'm going to say, I think that in response to the 25% increase in cost for energy coming from Ontario, for Minnesota, New York, and Michigan, that Trump is going to offer some rebating kind of system, that like a stimulus check, something of that sort. If we are getting 25% tariffs on goods from Canada, that may be something that he actually can do. So we'll see. So again, we've got another premier, David Eby. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. Any of the Canadians that are watching, please correct my pronunciation on that. He is the premier of British Columbia. He said that his province will enter into legislation in the coming days that would give it the ability to levy fees on commercial trucks traveling from mainland USA proper up to Alaska, one of our other states. Will he really do this? Will he be able to put levies on traveling and bringing supplies to one of our states? Will he be able to do that? I don't know if he'll be able to do that. I think it's going to be a lot more trouble than it's worth. I think this goes into litigation rather that. So he does say he's going to go into legislation. I think it's going to have a hard stop. I just think, I think the Trump administration will go in and sue them. And I think it's just going to be a mell of a hass. So I don't think that necessarily happens. So my next question was what is the severity, but I don't think we have the severity there. So there's no there. I think that's going to be a battle. So, what is I said 3 to 5 year outlook on this tariff war? Let's just look at the next 2 years. I want to look at the next 2 years, like 18 months to 2 years. What is the outlook on this? How are we looking? How is the war between Canada and the United States looking? Reckless and Wild. That was a movie. I think Claudia Schiffer was in it. So it really is going to be Reckless and Wild, continued kind of throwing back and forth. But I think it's a lot of talk. I don't think there is a lot of actual, fighting going on. I think it's a lot of talk. And I think it's the regular folks like me and you that are going to have to deal with it while they kind of verbally duke it out. So I do think that Trump is going to say a number of crazy things, but we've kind of expect that from him at this point. I think he might spit out some wild suggestions or outrageous things like, "Well, I'm just gonna build a bridge over Canada so that I can get to Alaska." I think he's going to say some things. Well, he can't control the airspace. We're gonna just fly our supplies there. We'll float them up the ocean. I just think he's going to have some things to say. Like, he is not someone who doesn't have a comeback. But I do think that there's this retaliatory back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think it's action, reaction. I think we're going to see that for the next 18 months. So 1 year to 18 months. In the end, do we find a peaceable, balanced agreement? I think we come up with one that we discuss, the U.S. and Canada. Again, when we go into negotiations, you have to remember, that not everybody's going to be happy. And we see that here with the 10 of Cups. Not everybody's going to be happy. Do we get out of, kind of this grindy kind of not happy relationship with Canada? Not really. Not really. I think it continues. Does Canada see us as being jerk faces? Yes, they do. Do we see Canada as, kind of hanging on to our pant leg? Yeah, I think that's going to be Trump's basic view. We've been taking care of Canada for a long time. Like, we've been doing good things. And again, this is not my assertion. This is what the cards are saying. I think he says Canada's not grateful enough. They're not. They're pushing back on us in our American way, and Canada says, well, you guys are being jerks and you're making things difficult for no other reason than to try and recoup revenue. Where your neighbor don't do that. So I don't think that the 18-month 1 year to 18 month situation, I don't think it's going to be great. So what is our yellow brick road? Let's yellow brick road it. What is that yellow brick road? I will do Canada on the top and the United States on the bottom. So Canada. So Canada needs to kind of look at the bigger picture here. Is this a neighboring superpower that there is some benefit to going to negotiation with the whole tariff structure? Yes. Do they need to make decisions based on what's best for Canada? Yes, but they also have to realize that they have a bully to the south. And I did say bully. I did say bully. They're being kind of pushed into different directions. I think that there is more to this. Now, I know that Trump was negotiating the minerals contract with Ukraine to go in there and recoup some of the money that we gave them. I think that there's a bigger picture here. I do think that there's something else that Trump wants. And again, I'm going to do a remote view on that because I don't know what it is, but I think that there's something else that he wants. I think he does want access to some lands in Canada that are not peopled, that don't have people on them. So I'm curious what that's about. So Yellow Brick Road is that the Trump administration needs to negotiate this is the apprentice, the master, and the client, and the person who commissions the work. So the view is that Canada is not a superpower. That's the view of the Trump administration. And so, kind of bringing them into more alignment with the United States is really one of his goals. And it is to get up into those northern eastern lands that I'm seeing here. So, again, not my assertion. This is what I'm getting from the card. So, I do think that there is some other objective other than just getting some dingy money in Russian. I'm sorry, I spoke Russian. There's something about getting into those lands and getting a little bit of the richness of Canada. So I don't think this is going to be 1, 2, 3 done. I just don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see continued back and forth with Canada. And again, if you're Canadian, I apologize. I know you guys are getting pushed around a little bit right now. I apologize. We didn't vote for it, so it's something that the Trump administration is doing. The tariff thing is a very interesting perspective because it does harken back to the 19th century when we had heavy tariffs on all other countries and goods that were coming into the country. And we had no income tax. So this is kind of taking a page out of the book of the 19th century. So I'm not sure. It's a modified version, certainly, but it's it is something that they are testing out. And I don't know if it's going to be successful. I do understand that we're getting a lot of pushback. I don't want to pay more for avocados or maple syrup. You guys have great maple syrup. So that being said, we're going to have to keep looking at this. It's going to keep going on and on. I don't think that this is a situation that's going to wrap up quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you're Canadian, let me know what you think down below. Don't get mad at me, because I'm an American. Like I said, I'm not imposing tariffs on your country. I'm not saying that you should become part of the United States. Certainly not. But I do want to know what your opinion is. So let me know what you think. If you're angry, that's okay. Just don't be angry at me. Be mad at Donald Trump. It's fine. All right, guys, I will see you in the future. Have a great day.